Hi, Graphics Coder. We're going to look at custom costumes in Snap here. We'll try to do a little quick demo on that. So in an assignment, we have a link here to the creating backgrounds and sprites, or we can go to the table of contents and we can see how-tos, stage backgrounds, and costumes. So let's go into it in one direction or the other. Costumes. We have our steps here. We're going to walk through these really quick and see how she goes. All right, so we're going to create a costume in our favorite editor. We're going to set the background as transparent, and we'll see why we do that. Select a sprite in Snap. So let's do it. That's the best way to see it, right? All right, so we have the regular given sprite here. Let's copy that. Right-click and let's duplicate it. Right there, we have it. Okay, let's name that. Get rid of those parentheses. I don't like those. All right, let's actually bring a sprite in. We'll start with a sprite this time. You don't have to start with a sprite. You can go from scratch, but in this case, we'll start with a sprite. We'll make it because we're going to make a button. We're just going to add a label to it, actually. So let's choose that one. We could choose any of those buttons, but let's choose that one, and there it is. All right, so, and you can see it's transparent. In other words, the backgrounds are not impacting one another, right? We'll see in a second how that works. Or it can be a problem. Okay, so we're now going to actually export that. I'm going to rename it first to get rid of that space. I'm just going to call it, I'm going to call it the Go button because we're going to put the word Go, the label Go on it. So now I'm going to right click and export. Now we're going to actually, that's going to be downloaded. We're going to work a lot in our downloads directory. And we're also going to have a directory for our project anywhere on your computer where you have a working directory. So I'm just going to actually move that into my working directory, and now we have a SVG file. You can open that in some editors if you're using a sophisticated graphics editor. I'm just going to demo this with a simple editor, Paint, Windows Paint. And to do that, we actually want a PNG file. So I'm going to actually convert that. And right here it tells us in the notes here that we can convert SVG to PNG, and it's another note here that the PNG is a good image type for Snap. All right, so let's convert that. Let's go right here, click on that, and there's our conversion, and we can just drag our file in here. Going to drag it in there, and then we're going to download it. And once again, our downloads directory will be helpful here. So I'm going to go into that and zip file they gave us, copy that into our working area here. Where did our working area project go? There it is. Okay. So I'm going to paste that, and there we go. And I don't need that one anymore. I'm going to get rid of that. So working with the ping file. Now we can open that on our system. I'm going to open that into Paint, a very simple editor that Windows users know about. I'm going to put a label on there is all we're going to do here for this demo, quick demo. Just going to be a Go button. Make that a little bigger. Drag it. Oops, didn't quite work. Try to. Get that a little higher. See if we can get it to fit. All right, we won't go for perfection here, but we'll put it right there. All right, and we are going to save that. Now we'll see how that works right away. I'm just going to actually move it over to the side and going to get rid of that. We don't need that anymore. We'll be back here. Go into Snap and just going to drag it in here. Now let's activate it. Double click on that to activate it. Now let's see how it works in terms of transparency. Not good, right? It's blocking the other sprite, so it's going to block graphics basically, right? Or this sprite here, if we drag it in, that's okay. But our sprite blocks. You can see the background blocks. Okay, so we want to fix that. So let's actually delete that and try again. Tells us right here about, you can read this, but just quickly, we want a transparent background. So we have a website here, another website, and that removes the background, makes it transparent. Going to drag our file here, our gobutton.png file, and we're going to download it again. And there it is. I'm going to just close this because really what we want is that directory I mentioned, which is the downloads directory. That's where I put it. we'll copy that. Actually, not copy it, we'll actually move it into our working directory. And let's get rid of the old file with a bad background, delete that, and rename that, just make it a little nicer. All right, now let's drag that back into Sprite. We can go back here, and here, there's our steps. Drag that into Sprite. Oh, this is the one we want to use, Sprite 2. So I'm going to delete that. Oops, didn't want to do that. Delete, delete. Drag it in, double click, and now you can see that background is okay. We're not blocking another sprite, another graphics image. So that's a very quick demo on that. You know, there's other techniques here you can read about. More sophisticated editor you could use if you wanted to. Editor if you wanted to. And otherwise, you wouldn't have to copy a sprite like we did. You know, we did this file here, or a costume, I should say. We wouldn't have to copy one. You could start from scratch and make one. We can do that actually really, really quick here. If you want to make your own sprite or a costume, I should say. Well, actually, I'll keep this video short, but you can do that. You don't have to do what we did with a starting image. All right, so we'll talk to you soon.